It doesn't matter how big your dream is, how noble your cause is, how prepared you are. If you do not have the energy necessary to follow through on your goals, your dreams remain wishes. And as you and I know, getting enough quality sleep regularly conserves and restores energy. But it's unfortunate that many of us are not very satisfied or even proud of our sleep routines. Some have questions like, am I a night owl, an early bird, or somewhere in between? Does one group have an advantage over the other? Must everyone wake up early in the morning? How is my sleep pattern affecting my health and level of productivity? Can I change my sleep preferences? Is it even necessary for me to change it? And so in today's video, I'll be addressing some of these concerns and even the misconceptions surrounding this aspect of sleep. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to clearly state which group you belong to and how you can get quality sleep regularly, improve your health, and increase your level of productivity without the burnout, irrespective of your sleep preferences. But before we get into it, I just want to shout out a big thank you to all of you who responded to the poll I put up on my Facebook page, Instagram, and even here on my community page, asking you if you were an early bird, night owl, or somewhere in between. I had a good time reading through your comments, seeing your sleep experiences, how they have evolved over time, and I could relate to so many of them. So thank you so much for responding. Now, we all have what is called a circadian rhythm. In simple terms, it's just a 24-hour internal clock that controls certain functions and processes in our bodies. And it is often influenced by environmental factors, one of the biggest ones being light, which is why it's often tied to day and night. One of the popular cycles is the sleep-wake cycle, which is the one we are kind of paying more attention to in today's video. And it's not just us human beings that have this circadian rhythm. Living things do have them. Flowers, they know when to open up and when to close up. Nocturnal animals know when it's day and night, so they know when not to go out for survival. So for a very long time, people thought that all it took was willpower to control your sleep pattern. And so night owls were often shamed and looked upon as lazy for not being able to, go to bed early. And early birds were even laughed at times for not being able to stay up late to complete certain tasks or socialize. And this takes me back to my college days when we used to have youth retreats and then we would have like night vigils. Those of us who were night people, we found it easier to tarry through the night and pray and be alert and attentive to whatever activity was taking place. And we felt like we were more committed, more holier than those who were sleeping. But the tables turned when it came to morning, and you would see the people who could not tarry during the night, they were alive, they were awake, and I would be wondering, where are you getting your energy from at 4 a.m. in the morning? I just wanted to sleep. I was like, who signed me up for this thing? And so you can see that it had nothing to do with some people being more committed than others. It just had to do with the different sleep preferences. And so over the years, research has shown that this internal clock is influenced to a certain degree by genetics. There's also gender factors. Some say women tend to be more of early birds than night owls. There's also even the age factor in it. Even people who used to be night owls when they were much younger, research has also shown that as they get older, especially above 60, they may switch back to becoming early birds. And even our lifestyle, can affect our sleep cycle or sleep pattern to a certain degree. So don't blame yourself, just understand your type. So we have the early birds or early larks, the night owls, and those who fall in between. Those who fall in between occupy the largest number of people in the population, followed by the early birds and then the night owls. Early birds are those who love to go to bed early and wake up early. They feel their best when the day begins. They are excited, often in a happy mood, high energy, but those energy levels begin to drop late afternoon and evening, which means they are more productive in the early hours of the day. They are less rushed in the morning and so less anxious about their day. They have time to exercise, eat healthy in the morning, and are more organized with their task. They may have some problems socializing because they are not night people. They want to go to bed early. On the other hand, night owls tend to stay up late and sleep in. Their fingers are very good friends with the snooze button, and they are often moody and not full of energy in the mornings until later in the day when they begin to feel their best, and then night comes and they are full of life and can be very productive during those hours. Their mornings are often rushed, so they may not have the time to eat well and exercise. They are also more susceptible to anxiety, depression, and trouble staying focused. But they are very creative people, high mental processing speed, and critical thinkers. They also find it easier to adjust to routines that are outside their sleep cycle more than their early bird. I guess they don't have a choice, right? But again, these are all just general characteristics, and some of them may not apply to you even though you belong to those groups. Now, let me clarify something. I believe this is going to be very helpful for somebody. Just because you go to bed late and wake up late does not automatically make you a night owl. And because you go to bed early and wake up early does not also make you an early bird. You could be a night owl, but you choose to kind of structure your bedtime and wake routine such that it accommodates your daytime lifestyle. And so you go to bed early and you wake up early. But that would not mean that you love that early morning and that your peak times for productivity or your high energy times are morning hours. You could also be an early person and yet you stay up late because you are either a procrastinator or an undisciplined person. You are up maybe just eating and chatting and socializing into the night, and then you are forced to wake up late. That does not make you a night owl. Or maybe you even still wake up early. One thing I've noticed with early birds is that it doesn't matter how late they sleep, they may still wake up early because that is how their internal clock is wired. My husband is an early bird. If for some reason we slept late, he will still wake up very early. So if you are an early bird and you stay up late, you may cheat yourself of quantity sleep, and then you may also miss out on those early morning hours that is your high energy times that you should have been productive. Your energy levels may not be at its peak. So even though we have established that our sleep pattern is mostly out of our control, we can still train our bodies to make certain adjustments to accommodate our lifestyle so that we can stay productive without compromising our sleep and health. I've come to realize that the secret to time management is actually energy management, and understanding my chronotype, my sleep pattern, and how to work around it has saved me from just pushing through my day to actually enjoying my daily task, finding ways to do more with less. So use your body's clock to your advantage. When it comes to this, being a copycat will not work. You need an individualized plan. And I understand that, the night owls are often at the disadvantage because the world favors morning larks, right? Things are done in the day and not at night. But I'm going to share some 4 key things here that are going to help all of us. It doesn't matter what group you belong to. If you keep these 4 things in mind when you are trying to plan your schedule or plan your productive day, you will still be able to stay productive and not compromise your sleep or your health. The first thing is sleep quantity. Are you getting the amount of sleep that your body needs? You see, in an ideal world, if a night owl decides to stay up all night and do some productive work and go to bed around 3 a.m. and sleep all through until they get their 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, there is nothing wrong with that. They would be functioning well. Their bodies are going to be okay if that is how they are choosing to sleep and if it is possible. And if an early bird, you know that you're going to wake up early, and you also make sure that you go to bed early so that you get the quantity of sleep that you need to wake up early and take advantage of your productive hours, which is in the daytime, you are also good. So sleep quantity is something that you should always keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is sleep quality. Now, the thing is that if you choose to catch up with lost sleep in fragments, that is low quality sleep. And I have been there where, because I didn't sleep well, I catch up a little 2 hours in the morning and then catch up a little 2 in the afternoon, catch up a little 2. That is fragmented sleep. So even if you, at the end of the day, you have all your 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, it is low quality sleep. And sometimes people don't break it at different times. Sometimes people can even sleep through the night or through the day, whatever that sleep period is, but it's still fragmented either because of what you ate, you took caffeine so you can't sleep all through. Maybe you have so many things disturbing you, worries. It could even be health issues. There are some health problems that don't let people sleep through the night. That will also be low quality of sleep. So that's something I want you to keep in mind. Ask yourself and start to figure out, how can I work on this thing? How can I work on having quality sleep and not just quantity sleep? The third thing you have to keep in mind is sleep rhythm. Sleep rhythm is one of the most important ones we should take note of. If you're out of rhythm with your sleep, it's going to lead to some health problems and your productivity level is going to be down. I just said that if you are a night owl, it's okay to, maybe work at night and, sleep and have your 6, 7, 8 hours sleep during the day. And by the way, it's becoming more and more possible for night owls to do this, especially with the work from home, with a lot of people being entrepreneurs and doing their own thing. If the task at hand is such that you can do it at those hours and it would not, harm the project, a lot of people are beginning to do that. But if you're going to pick a certain pattern, based on your cycle, be sure that you're going to maintain that, pattern for a while. If you're going to, within 1 week, be a night owl for 2 days, an early bird for 1 day, and then find yourself in between for the rest of the days, you are offsetting your body system. You're going to feel so out of sync with your body, and that's where health issues start to come in. You start to see things like anxiety, depression, sugar levels begin to spike. There are just a long list of things that will go wrong. And I understand it's easier said than done because life happens. I have been there where my sleep rhythm is all over the place, either due to lack of discipline or it was just a season in life. Young kids, a baby, and so many things going on. I just recently put up a video on the challenges of a new beginning. Sometimes it could be the beginning of a project, a new endeavor. Maybe you're starting a school program, you are starting something, a business, and you're still struggling to, find your rhythm. You're still struggling to find a schedule that works for you. Your sleep rhythm could be all over the place. I understand. But as much as possible, don't prolong it. Let it be for that season. And even within that season, try to minimize the fluctuation as much as possible. At times, we do all of those things because we're thinking we want to maximize the time and be more productive, but we end up with low energy levels and our productivity levels, really drop. You could be busy, but really going nowhere. And that is why it's important that we should have routines, we should have a plan, we should have something scheduled. Because when you have something down, even when life happens, even when all those other external factors are coming to disrupt, you will not go too far outside of that structure that you already have in place. There are times that I know that at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks, I'm going to commit to a full night of maybe just doing productive work, because I know that that is when, I'm most creative. I think analytically, that is my productive hour, and I have maybe a big thing to do. I sit down and I do it. But I quickly go back into my planned routine or my planned schedule. Which brings us to the fourth most important thing to note, which is to know your peaks, know your troughs, and know your rebound time, and plan your task accordingly. And how are you going to do this? By tracking your day. Track your day and find out, when am I the most mentally alert? When do I have the most energy? When do I feel creative the most? When are my energy levels down? And then you plan accordingly. Put your high performance tasks during your peak times, and then those things that you do not need to work your brain a lot, put them during your low energy times. Maybe you just want to reply to a few texts here and there, do some cleaning around. Plan accordingly in order to ensure that you have sleep quantity, sleep quality, sleep rhythm, and that you are able to structure your task in a way that you maximize your productivity. You will have to have routines, a set bedtime routine and a set morning routine that is unique to you. I know that life happens and things could come up to kick us off, our plans. But when you have a routine, when you have something that you have said, you have put in place, when you have a structure, even though the winds and the waves will come to kick you off balance, you're not going to just crumble. You're not just going to go out of your way. You will quickly bounce back, you'll quickly come back into rhythm. So it's important. And if you're interested, if you want me to do maybe a morning routine video or an evening routine video showing you how I apply these things, giving you a little bit more specific examples so that it can inspire you to come up with yours, please do let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any other questions about this topic of today, do let me know in the comment section below as well, and I'll consider doing videos to address them. I hope that through this video you were able to know your type, you were able to see how you can use these 4 ways to come up with a schedule for yourself that is going to help you have quality sleep and still stay productive. If you've watched this video up till this point, thank you so much. And if you found it helpful, please help me give it a thumbs up and share it. Consider subscribing if you have not done so. Come on and join this beautiful family of bloomers, and let us continue on this purpose-driven journey together, pursuing our dreams with more clarity each step of the way and from a place of balance, staying productive without the burnout. So thank you once again, and see you in the next.